Hi, everybody. We're back for another episode of For the Love of Health, where it's our chance to I get the opportunity to talk to some heart-driven, holistic health entrepreneurs out there all over the place. Today we got a wonderful business owner from Kansas City, Missouri, and we're just gonna be diving right in with like how our businesses are just growing and changing and shifting, how we get into our business models that we get into, what opportunities have been coming our way, and best, what is our message so that we can better collaborate with other people out there in similar industry paths. So we have Christi Clemons Hoffman. Hi, Christi. How are you?
I'm well, Laura. How are you?
Doing good. Now, Christi is the owner of Radiate Wellness, the Radiate Wellness podcast, and the Real Life Angel Encounters podcast. Whoa. And you've been doing Radiate Wellness for quite some time. So, out of those three things, what is the project that like takes your most focus right now?
Well, Radiate Wellness. I mean, we're a group holistic practice. We're a virtual wellness center. I am one of the practitioners, probably the lead practitioner, I would say, as well as the owner of the collaborative. And so that takes a lot of focus. And the Radiate Wellness podcast, I have to say, does take quite a bit of focus as well because I interview other well, not even just wellness professionals. So people who radiate something positive to our listeners. So I've had management professionals, leadership professionals. I've had a monk, two monks, as a matter of fact, mindfulness practitioners. I had a clown on the podcast who trained with Marcel Marceau. Um, it just is a wide umbrella for whatever we want to radiate. And so that is also taking a lot of my time, but really my practice, my group practice, and then the practice that I have on my own as well as part of Radiate Wellness, seeing clients for readings. I kind of joke that it's readings, Reiki, and regression, which is easy to remember because I do all kinds of readings, past lives, Akashic records, animal communications, health, relationships, all of those things, plus medical intuition. And then Reiki, I'm a Reiki master, and then I use quantum healing hypnosis technique and introspective hypnosis, as well as clinical hypnosis for regressions, regression therapy, hypnotherapy. I'm one of 31 level 3 QHHT practitioners in the world. So I do a lot of that.
All right. So what is that last thing you said? The one of 31?
Yeah, quantum healing hypnosis technique, QHHT. It's the method that was developed by Dolores Cannon. And she is
Cool.
a big name in the metaphysical community, but it's an amazing healing modality as well. I've seen all kinds of things healed and improved through this technique. It's incredible. So it's a
So where does the
mhm.
go ahead?
It's just I love everything that I do. It is so wonderful to connect with people and help them in profound ways. So I'm sure all of the people that you have coming on here on the show with you are tremendous healers in their own rights. So it's a wonderful life, I have to say.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling, and um, some something I've noticed across the line is everybody's very multi-passionate with a lot of diversity to bring a lot
Right.
of tools in their
Exactly.
arsenal.
Absolutely right, because some people are not ready to undertake something like QHHT because it is a huge deep dive. It's a big time commitment, financial commitment, and it unlocks some things that maybe people aren't ready to look at yet. But, they find a way to access their inner self and their inner knowing and their just energetic well-being through Reiki, for example, or from a reading. So being able to meet people where they are with tools that match what they're ready for, I think it's important that we diversify in that way.
Have you met Amina Mir or heard of Amina Mir? She goes by
No,
Fearless Healing. She was
that
she's a cancer survivor out in California,
Yeah.
and she wrote Fearless Hearing. She's a really talented medical intuitive, like spot on, very fast, very
Mhm.
good.
No, I haven't heard of, I mean, I've heard the name, but I really don't know her. Yeah, I did
She's one of
my
the
medical.
practitioners we have in our circle, and I was like kind of my jaw dropped, and I talked to her for a few minutes like okay, like you're totally
Oh
spot on.
my God. Oh, that is so
So
cool. Yeah, yeah,
just
I
that
love
one
that.
aspect of what you were saying, which is the
Yeah.
medical.
Yeah, I did my medical
So
intuition training with Tina Zion, who's also very widely recognized in the healing community. Yeah.
awesome. So tell me about this collaborative clinic. Did you find it? Was it something that you found with other people equally at the same time? How did that come to be?
So I got laid off from Hallmark. That was my corporate job. And I had been seeing clients outside of Hallmark for many years. But when I got laid off, I knew that I really didn't want to take on another corporate job. And I was actually seeing clients outside of my full time job at a physical wellness clinic. And it was a metaphysical wellness space. And I was just amazed because I'd never seen anything like it all in one place. There was Reiki, shamanism, astrology, Akashic records, crystal healing. It was really phenomenal, but it lacked integrity in its management, and it imploded pretty quickly about the same time that I was getting laid off from Hallmark. And so I knew that I wanted to create something similar to it, but with more integrity. And as part of the severance package I'm so sorry, there's this crinkle noise. My cat is laying on some tissue paper. But as I was being laid off from Hallmark, I was offered a severance package that included entrepreneurial classes through the Kaufman Foundation for Entrepreneurial Studies. And I knew that I wanted to start this business. I lacked the capital to have a physical space. So I thought, let's think outside of the box and have this be a virtual center. So clients coming in, they interface with our website, offers shows all of our offerings, all of our services, all of our practitioners, everything that we have that they would find in the center, but then they interact with us online, or each one of us has their own space. And so there was one practitioner that wanted to join from the center, from the physical center. She said, whatever you're doing, I want to in on it. And then the other practitioners I found through word of mouth and networking. I'm very choosy with the practitioners that I want to work with, and finding people of highest integrity who have amazing healing skills and are very good speaking with clients and have a good head for what they're doing. So, I mean, that's really how it was born. And honestly, I'm glad that we're virtual rather than physical, because with COVID and the limitations and shutdowns that were going on, I saw a lot of people really struggling, and we never did during COVID. We never, our business was steady because we were doing things virtually.
Yeah, I've spoken to quite a few practitioners, even people who do manual style therapies.
Hmm.
So therapies, they've said that there's differences in their virtual platforms. Um, and going into those differences has been a really important aspect. I work with clients who have a hard time getting on camera, for example, but then once they get on camera, they end up loving it. So there's kind of like a comfort zone thing with the whole showing up virtual and seeing actually
Right.
how there are some benefits that we didn't even think were possible, offering some type of virtual thing in addition to or in lieu of physical.
Yeah. Now, there's only one thing that I do that must be done in person, and that is the QHHT. And even that didn't even drop off. So I took extra precautions in my office space, extra cleaning, masks required, up to a point during the session. Then I did allow them to come off, but taking extra precautions and extra screening questions of people who are coming in. But that's the only thing that I have to do in person, and it never dropped off. Still, because people need it now more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the trend is that, holistic health is not going anywhere. It was a massive industry last year. And a lot of the marketing things are in our favor. The emails that are most open this year predicted our wellness emails. So people are ready for what we have to say. So that being said, what is your goal? What are some of the outcomes you want to see going forward in the next few months with your business? What kind of things you got cooking?
So, what I've got cooking, I've got this new podcast, The Real Life Angel Encounters, and I would love to see that grow. And so, maybe if there's anybody listening to this podcast who might have a positive encounter, some sort of angelic intervention or angelic visit, or even a visit from a loved one, I would love to hear from them at angelencounters podcast@gmail.com, sending me some of those things to grow that podcast and give me more content or give us more content to put out there. I also want to find a good platform for hosting replays of classes. So classes that you can purchase. So I've got many of them pre-recorded, and so a way to offer those for purchase. So that's something I'm trying to like define and figure out how we can deliver those things. And then I've got an ongoing program called Fearless Transformation. It's group coaching, and it's set up in such a way that you can join at any time, and then you can, leave at any time as well. We started in January, and it's going really well. It's twice a month group coaching with lots of homework and lots of exercises to do together. And it's really geared toward making 2022 our year. Finally putting to rest any beefs we might have with another person, any relationships that need to be repaired, that even just so much self-healing. So it's, yeah. So those are some things that I have going on. Also, I wrote a chapter for a book that's going to be published March 1st, and it is about the mind-body connection. It's called The Gap: How to Reclaim Your Health Through Mind-Body Connection. The chapter I wrote is where it's kind of the medical intuition stuff, where we hold different types of trauma within the chakra system, within the body, and some different ways to clear it and to bring more balance to our chakra system, which does rule the physical body.
That's amazing. It seems like you're such a thought leader when it comes to your business style. Do you
Thank
agree
you.
with that? Like an industry leader?
Well, in the Kansas City area, yeah, I would say so. But also, just the idea of a virtual wellness center, I think, is something that people seem to be kind of surprised at. It's like, oh, well, yeah, that would work. Why wouldn't it work? What a novel concept. What a new idea. And so, I do try to position myself in such a way. It's like not that my work is any better or any different than anybody else's, but I do try to position myself in a way that, you know, I want to be of most assistance to as many people as possible. And, if I can help someone's transformation and growth, then yeah, I want to do that.
So are you having any challenges with your goals right now? You have a lot of things, big things coming up, and anything that we can help with besides, you said, inviting people in who have angelic experiences, growing the podcast, but what kind of challenges maybe come up for you?
Well, this is probably the advertising, marketing, and SEO, getting more people to our website. And I'm looking to maybe improving our website with just a more streamlined type of approach, being able to offer classes and downloads and things like that in an easy. I have not been able to figure that out on my own so far. So that would be a challenge. I'd like to be able to generate some passive opportunities for people looking for growth. So if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to be able to help anyone, or our practitioners are not going to be able to help them. But if there's a download or a class that someone can enjoy and participate and grow from, then I would like to have that available for them. So that would be a challenge, is kind of the technical website marketing SEO stuff. Yeah.
Have you brought on somebody onto your team, or like hired someone to help you with those things before?
I have a virtual assistant who helps with some things, and so I'm kind of looking now at this would be a contractor to come in and take a look at the website. And I
Yeah,
did hire a contractor to build the website back in 2016, but it's kind of a 2016 website, you know what I mean? I'm looking to refresh it, update it a bit.
yeah, I'm writing that down just so I can shape better
Thank
content
you.
for my community, which you're part of. So, yeah, the
Appreciate it.
SEO needs and the evergreen, like you said, it's all
Yeah.
there to live on its own so people can click it anytime and go through some kind of portal that they then get amassed with the knowledge and the value. So, um, I mean, honestly, Christy, I feel like I could spend so much more time with you. I have questions about, your virtual wellness center, like if there's integration between the practitioners in how you work with a single client, if there's some type of collaboration there,
There
um,
is.
umbrella like principles about your positioning over the for the whole clinic, and umbrella concepts for people to follow, or code of doctrine, the values, for people when they serve under the clinic. And then of course, marketing and how you're approaching people, your ideal client. There's so many great things that came out today that I think would I would probably be just so excited to hear more about. So thank you so much for coming on. So I will share the email for the promotion of the Angel
Thank
podcast.
you. Real
And
life angel encounters.
yeah, where did that idea come from? Is that something that just you've always been interested in, or?
So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I am a podcast junkie, and one of the types of podcasts that I like to listen to are kind of campfire stories. In fact, Jim Harold's Campfire is one of my top listens. Then there are other podcasts that they will occasionally have the kind of the campfire format where people are calling in with their stories. But it's all, well, I can't say all, but most of it is geared around the spooky, the paranormal, the unexplainable. I wanted to do something like that, but with positivity, with angels, because that's really where I started. That's where I started my chops, was angels and angel communication. Way back in the day when I first started working with clients, it was all angelic stuff. Now, of course, I've built on, I've expanded, I've grown, but kind of going back to basics for me, and stories of real people who've had real encounters, either with an angelic presence, or maybe it was something really positive that happened to them that they can't explain otherwise, or maybe it's the loved one visits. Actually, our listeners really do like loved ones visits too. So any of that's positive, uplifting, helpful, and maybe a little spiritual too. That's really what it's about.
I love that. I think it's a great project. And I mean, we all know podcasts they're not like easy undertakings. You can't target them through SEO. You just have to have love in your heart for connecting with other people. Like it's really just because you have to be committed for time and for the process to really like build that audience up. So
Yeah.
you don't have one, you have two podcasts. So that's just
Mm. Yeah.
your passion for getting some good people together and some good community.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
some tremendous help with the podcasts, I have to say. Big shout out to James. Yeah, he's amazing. He's the editor and distributor.
oh, that's great. That's awesome that you have help with that project. That's so cool. And yeah, podcasts they're obviously very exciting because once you have that built up, like people they're just taking in, just listening to the knowledge, and they can take it wherever they go, whenever they are able to.
Yeah.
So
Well,
another
and specifically the Radiate Wellness podcast, I wanted to have that as a way for positioning, right? So to add credibility to what we do. I've had some really big names like John D. Martini, Marie Diamond, Doug Vermeeren, Jeff Thompson had some really big names on there, and having people on who have a large following, so that when they share it out, it has a bigger reach. So
yeah.
it's been a blessing.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I have some great people that I can ask. Like, like, I mean, you're great. I'm just saying, like, people who already have really like huge, like millions of followers. But my approach has been more just like, let's build a community-based movement and just like get everybody really excited about it. But it sounds like you do a little bit of both, which is really cool, like a fusion of that community verse and also that like let's get some really amazing speakers. So you've mentioned a lot of names of people who I have no idea who they are today, and I'm
Oh,
really
okay.
really excited to look into them and learn more. Well, thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
absolutely.
Christy, and I hope you have a good rest of your snow day out there.
Thank
uh,
you so much.